It is the Zach Sang Show. Heather is not here. Dan is here.
All right.
I am here. And Aaron Carter is here.
What's up, dude?
Come on.
So funny. I walked in here and I was like, dude, I know you.
Yeah.
From where?
Because we saw each other at the AMAs, right?
Yeah, the AMA radio room. That was like the one and only time that we've ever really known each other.
Yeah, you're just like an unforgettable kind of person. You do realize that, right?
I mean, that's the
You
greatest
are
compliment ever.
unforgettable.
That's not always a good thing, though. That could be a bad thing.
You know how you said, you know how you said it was like average voices? Well, like once you start seeing so many people, like their faces start to look alike too.
Of course, I get that. I mean,
You know
like,
what I'm saying?
so the fact that you're remembering me in the sea of like, seriously, since you've started this journey, it's been decades now. Like you've come in contact with millions upon millions of people who know you, but you don't know them.
Exactly. And that's even weirder. Like when someone walks up to you, hey, punches you in the arm, you're like,
you know
do
me
I
like
know
that?
you? Like, what is this, super bad? Did you just punch me in my boob and walk away?
Was there a certain point in life where you had to like master the fake, oh, how are you? Good to see you. Of course I know you.
No, well, I guess there's I'll always say it's good to see you
Yeah, because it's neutral.
because it's such a generalized thing. Like, so it's not like, hey, oh yeah, it's good to see you again. No, like just in case.
Yeah.
It's always nice to see you, whether it be for the first time or the seventh.
Exactly. It's a better thing than do I know you? Like then you can offend somebody.
Yeah.
And then if you say it's good to see you, they're like, hey, remember I met you last time? You're like, oh yeah, of course. Like,
Dude, you were out
and then
there.
you just walk away.
You,
Then you have to walk away though.
but at the end, that's where the conversation's done.
If you didn't remember them and then they're like, hey, remember? And you're like, yeah, you lied to them. You have to walk away right after.
Yeah, because God forbid the story continues.
Exactly.
You're getting yourself caught into a lie that you can probably never get out of.
I've gotten caught in a couple
I
with some
mean-
people.
But you probably had like a good, like neutral, like, hey, it's great to see you. And I mean, like, think about all the people who've come up to you over the years and they
That's what I'm
know
saying.
everything about you.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Has that ever freaked you out?
Oh yeah. Like the scrapbooks get me. Those ones kill me.
Yeah,
'Cause
really?
They got like 20 years of scrapbooks with me in it.
Well, it's documenting your life, literally.
I get it. I'm living it.
But is that like a scary reminder for you?
Kind of sometimes. It's funny though. It's weird. It's like, I don't know. It's like going home and like looking through like home videos or something, but just fans are bringing them to you
They haven't.
instead. It's weird life, man.
I'm sure it is.
But it's nothing you ever get used to, right?
I guess it's normal to me, man.
It was weird. I was my
Abnormality is normal.
well to you.
What's abnormal to you is normal to me.
Well, it was my friend Liz. She hit me up, and she's been coming on the show for many years. And she's been traveling, and she goes, whenever I'm on the road, I get lonely, and I watch our interviews, and we've probably done like 8 or 9 over the years. And she says to me, they're like scrapbooks, they're mementos, they're moments in time, they're memories, and they're look backs at moments in our life.
That's true.
But everybody gets to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Do you wish that there were moments in your life growing up that you could really just have to yourself?
Huh. There was one moment when Ricky Martin mooned me. I wanted to all to myself. Ricky Martin mooned me when I was like 11 years old.
Did you ask for it? Like, how'd
No,
that happen?
I didn't ask for it.
Well, how'd it happen?
Yeah, like where were you?
I was in Buenos Aires, Argentina.
Okay.
There was like, I don't know, maybe 10,000 little screaming girls outside the hotel.
Uh-huh.
And like, there's these hotels that kind of like are catty corner towards each other and they face each other.
Okay.
They're kind of like looking at each other and they're right on the water.
Oh, got it.
And these fans that couldn't get to the shows would come to the hotels instead.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like throwing out airplanes. Like I'm on one side of the building, Ricky Martin's on the ottle one. And I got stories for days, man. This is why people actually want to do radio interviews with me. Because of these real stories. These alternative facts, as they call them.
We got a lot to get to. Keep going. So you're on one side of the hotel.
I'm on one side, okay. And
Ricky Martin's on the other.
Yeah, I'm throwing paper airplanes with my autograph on them. And we're kind of like competing for their attention.
Okay.
But I'm an 11-year-old kid and he's like a 24-year-old guy at the time, you know?
A man.
So yeah, he was living a Vida Loco over there, like, like shaking his bonbon at me and everything. Like it's crazy.
I mean, did you? So I'm.
So he got mad at me, man. He
Okay.
got mad because all the fans were paying attention to me because I was like, you know, sending off these airplanes with my autograph on it because I'm really smart and I was like, this is how I can get their attention.
It's a good idea, actually.
And it worked.
By the way, like that was Twitter back in the day.
Yeah, before like they started like shaking the building and then like they came up. They're like, "Hey, adios mio, you have to stop."
Okay, Ricky Martin's on one side. You're throwing them. He moons you.
He got mad at me. Like they were all paying attention to me, and he mooned.
So his moon was out of anger, not out of like sexual
It was an anger. I was
attraction.
like, "Ah!"
Wow.
You know, y'all missed all the movement of
Oh, they're watching you.
Oh, they're watching.
But I always like imagine if social media was around back in those days when you were younger. Like what would be on camera?
I mean, it's everything.
Literally
everything. Now it's like I'm pretty much like a liar now.
I know. You have all these stories and no proof.
I'm like a liar, man. Like,
yeah.
is Ricky gonna do a polygraph test? Like, come on.
So, I mean, that's an interesting point, though, right? Do you wish you had social media when you were growing up? And by growing up, I mean literally living a public everything?
Not really. I don't, because I like that there was just American Online, AIM.
AOL Instant Messenger.
Yeah, and a SkyTel pager.
Do you remember using AIM like as a kid, like talking to your friends?
Yeah, my screen name was Little Cheech Bud.
Little Cheech Bud?
Yeah.
Would you AOL Instant Message Hillary Duff? Like, was that one of your forms of communication?
She was.
Well, wait, what was her screen name?
I don't remember.
Lindsay Lohan? Do you know hers?
She didn't have one.
She was too cool.
She's too cool for school.
How'd you talk to her? Call her house, her
just-
mom would answer?
We just
Dina Lohan?
We just looked at each other and were like, no. Lindsay.
She has a new show now.
I'm aware.
Who tells you about that, or do you just like find it from surfing
The
on
Daily Mail
internet?
told me.
Do you read the Daily Mail every day?
I read the Daily Mail, yeah.
Any other places you go for news?
I go to Huffington Post. I go to CNN.com.
So you go to CNN. I thought you were going to be
do.
a Fox guy.
I go to CNN.
You do support Trump, though, right?
I don't.
No, you
No.
did though.
No, well, I did for like the first 10 seconds.
Okay, good.
And then all of my fans enlightened me why I shouldn't, and then I stopped a long time ago.
Great.
It's true.
I
It's
thought this
true.
was going to get into like a heated debate here. I
No,
got
there's no
nervous.
debate here. Trump is absolutely horrible and sucks.
Okay, cool.
It needs to go.
Back to
But
Lindsay.
what can you do?
Back to Lindsay Lohan for a second.
Mutiny.
You break up with her. Was that hard for you to do, or were at the time?
I was 4.
No, you were.
How hard do you think that was?
You were probably 13.
Oh, well, that's the same thing as being 4.
But in that moment in time when you're 13, it's the biggest and only thing in your life.
No.
No, but you
Are you kidding?
He had a lot going for him.
No,
at
you
that
did.
age.
Hold on, hear me out.
Do you not know me?
I do. You had a well at that time it was really interesting, right? Because it's you and your management and your parents, right, all going at it back in 2003.
No, just the managers were the parents.
That's right.
One and the same. Not anymore.
Thank God, right?
Yeah. Well, thank Lori Graff, my new manager. Just right there.
So you have that going on, which is obviously like that's pivotal and that's monumental to your future. And then you have your personal side, which is your relationships. I mean, that's a terrible place for any kid to be ever.
It wasn't. I mean, it's like no different than like if you're watching World Star Hip Hop and some little 4-year-old kid's like complaining about how he's on the phone breaking up with his girlfriend and gets caught cheating. Like it's like I was a little kid. Like
Yeah.
I'm like 29 now. It's different. Now I have to, really have to be. Cave.
Do you have to remind yourself of that sometimes?
Not really. I'm smart enough to know that like I'm good with the woman I have. So.
And your team around you she's a really nice lady, Lori.
Yeah, she is.
mean-
she's not, she's not always nice.
But she's what you need.
Yeah, she does. She's not a yes person. Let's put it that way.
When you're making this move and I want to talk heavy on music because
Yeah,
it's incredible, dude.
Whatever you want to talk about.
Love it's a game changer for you.
I guess so. Yeah.
Do you feel that? Do you really do you feel that in your heart of hearts like that this music is it's obviously so different from everything else.
I've used the craziest comparison to tell people how I'm dealing with it right now. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
All right. So like most people that like go swimming in the water and like get an arm eaten off by a shark, like don't realize that their arm is missing. And like days later are still like trying to like,
Yeah.
but that's what I feel like. I don't realize what's going on right now. So I still think that I have like my, that arm and I'm just kind of, it's shocked. I'm
Okay.
shocked. I don't really know what's happening. So
Do you mean that in a sense of this music was like this EP was attached to you and now that it's released and you have nothing else to create? Or is this like just how you've continued life, meaning like music has always been there no matter what?
No, I mean like the success of what's happening right now
You
and
can't.
seeing 34 million spins in like 5 weeks just on Spotify. That's not including all the amazing radio people that
Yeah.
are playing it and spinning it. Like, I was never an artist, that radio artist back then, man. It was taboo.
Yeah.
You know, I think we talked about that last time I was with you. Maybe not, but
We did. No, we did.
it was so taboo for like a little kid, you know, and that was really frustrating for me, you know, because I was like, man, why can't I be on the radio?
But is that with also being seen as a serious artist? Do you feel like anybody ever saw you as a serious artist back in the
I
day?
don't think they did, and that's okay. I mean, I think when I started doing live shows and incorporating playing the piano and doing stuff like and just taking it further,
Yeah.
the fans that they were forced to see that live, you know. But back then, I mean, I really wasn't a part of the writing and stuff. I mean, I did a couple of things. I wrote on a couple of songs back then, but not a bunch. But this time around, you know, like, because when I lost everything and I'm like, all right, parents aren't managers anymore. I haven't been on tour for like 3 years. I'm 18 years old. Like last time I toured was like 15, 16 or something like that.
Mhm.
Like big tour. Like, what am I going to do? How am I going to get this back? My whole goal was to literally just get a bunch of music gear and learn how to become a producer and learn how to make beats and stuff so that like I could come back and be a credible artist. I literally thought in my head, if I can learn how to do this and come back, I'll have a lot of ground to stand on. I'll have a lot of room to talk about what this project means and where it came from. Like, sooner or later, like when I first started making that beat, I was in Malibu and I was in a very depressed time in my life, going through a breakup. And I remember it was raining and I listened to the beat and I'm like, oh, it's so funny. I remember the mood I was in, like, and that's how I try to make music. I don't just sit around making beats all day long. I actually haven't made a beat right now in like a month and a half, but I don't need to. Like,
So, okay. Do you feel like today you can call yourself a true, genuine musician?
I think so. After getting like even just 1 million spins on Spotify,
It's a big deal.
and now it's like 34 million in like just this short amount of time. It's crazy that it's accumulating 1 million spins a day.
What fueled this? Why was it so important to you to go out, get the gear, do it on your own, hit the road, make this music from scratch? Who are you trying to like prove your worth to?
To myself, man. I swear on everything. I was just trying to prove it to myself. And I think I was trying to prove it to people. Like, I mean, there was managers that I had previously. Like, I had like this one manager named Kenneth Creer, Johnny Wright, these guys.
Yeah.
And I would always play them my beats and stuff. And people would just kind of just like, be like, oh yeah, that's cool. I would have like 30 on one CD to play them. And I'd be like, I got all these beats, you know? And they would just kind of look at me and just kind of laugh and chuckle and just be like, yeah, whatever, Aaron. You know, you're making beats, you know, whatever. And I just never gave up on making beats. I just always wanted to prove everyone wrong. I've always had this thing in me, this fire that wants to prove people wrong with actual genuine ability. And, you know, maybe 10 years ago when I was playing my first beats that I was making for people, yeah, maybe they sucked. They did suck. But I didn't give up. And 10 years later, here I am still doing it. And then I was like, all right, I'm going to take, you know, some, I feel like I'm ready with my beats to take them to my team. You know, I took them with Melanie Fontana, John Asher, Lake Street Louie, and Lindgren, who's my co-producer, who, you know, he's
a badass dude, by the way.
Yeah, Lindgren's cool.
Yeah.
And so we're kind of like the Chainsmokers, him and I, you know, on my own project, except I'm one of the chain and he's the smoker, you know?
Okay.
Or maybe the other way around, I don't know.
So you feel like you really need to prove it to yourself, right? Is that because everybody around you growing up told you were a musician without really allowing you to actually be one? Because society and the world saw you as a pop star.
No.
They saw you as an artist.
No, because when I was, you know, doing it crazy and huge arena shows all the time, back to back, I was really learning how to become a musician with my live musicians that were performing with me. They were teaching me. And they were like Stan, Simone, PDP, and P-Bass. I still have the same band. I've been performing with the same band for literally like 18 years.
That's amazing.
So I learned all of these chord progressions and everything from those guys. And then I think like, I don't know, just getting older and just wanting to show people that, hey, this is all the stuff that I learned in the interim and all the time that, you know, in the sound checks and on the buses and when people weren't really watching, what was I doing? And that's what I was doing. I've never been a big partier, never gotten into trouble really. You know?
Yeah.
I got arrested once when I was like 18
But for weed? Yeah.
Like, I'm 29. That was 11 years ago.
It's a different world now.
You know, it's a different world. And now I have this like, almost like a vendetta, I guess you can call it. Just this thing inside, this fire that's like, all right, you guys, I'm going to come back and I'm going to show all of everybody, including myself, all the people, all the managers that made fun of me, all the labels and the, you know, that turned their heads to me, you know, the Steve Rifkins, and I'll say names.
No,
man. It's okay.
Dude, I know you are because I
don't have any qualms saying
but
names.
But why are you so okay with that? Like, do you not feel that this is an industry still based on relationships?
Well, because Steve Zapp believed in me and signed me, not Steve Rifkin.
So
you know, like
it's based on belief, but
it's based on belief, and at the same time, it's like I also applaud those guys. Thank you for turning your head to me, because maybe I wasn't ready yet. Maybe I did suck. Maybe I still needed that push, you know, to drive me to really focus and learn and get better. Because you get better if you learn.
So as long as
discipline to learn.
So you're taking them not wanting to invest in you as fuel to get better, right? You're not taking it
absolutely
as an insult.
No, I mean, look, Steve Rifkin is who he is because he's Steve Rifkin.
Yeah.
You know, and to a lot of people, I looked like a risk, or why would you do that with Aaron Carter? Like, we thought he was dead. Or like, he's such a risk. He's such a train wreck.
Why do you think people see you as a risk?
I have no idea. Who knows? Maybe a House of Carter's TV show that was done like 10 years ago when I was a crazy little teenager, you know, coming out of a crazy life, turning 18 years old, getting all of this money and going crazy.
What is your biggest regret from that time period?
Probably not listening more to like the people around me, you know, like Lori, like, you know, at that time, but I was just so stubborn, and I think I just needed to. I'm just happy I made it out alive.
Do you regret House of Carters?
I don't say I would regret it, but yeah, I regret it.
Yeah. Did you even have a choice in doing it?
Yeah, I did. I was the last one to sign on to the contract, actually. Then it took everything they could to get me to do that show, and I finally signed on to it, didn't I, Lori? At the very end,
what was the breaking point? What did they offer you that made you say yes?
Some money.
Yeah. Does any of that money still exist?
Of course.
You sit on it somewhere because you're investing in this music.
It's
yourself,
in like music
right?
gear and Yeezys and stuff.
Well, that's it.
In assets.
It is in assets.
It's all in assets, you know.
Do you get offended when somebody calls you a throwback singer? Because I news searched your name just to like do some research, and there was one headline that says you're performing at a parade, and they called you a throwback singer.
Yeah, they're it's kind of funny how a lot of people do things. I think they slap Aaron's party pictures on shows because they just think that, oh, I would go to a show if I thought the 12-year-old Aaron Carter was going to be there, so I'm going to promote it like that. Like,
yeah,
it is what it is. They do what they want to do. Like, my management and my agents and my team, they all know that we don't mess around with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, so they kind of do it almost like it's almost like jokingly and gimmicking.
Yeah,
and that's just not who I am. So the people who start to do that, either I take them down or I don't perform at their shows anymore. It's like, I'm not a 90s party boy. Like, sorry, just so y'all know, like, Aaron's Party came out in 2001. Don't get it twisted. You can't, like, how can you make a theme for a show? Oh, this is the 90s throwback show. Aaron's Party. Oh, what? Did you look at the date? It's in 2000. It was released in 2001, you dingbat.
But you're also not going to be performing. You don't perform any of those records anymore. Do you?
I do Aaron's Party and do How I Be Shaq. I
cool.
just did my producer and my co-producer and I, we redid the beat for I Want Candy. That's going to be on the new album.
Oh, dope.
We did like an EDM version of it. Yeah. I do it at my leisure.
Yeah, not at theirs.
Not at yours.
Yeah.
This is not so I'm not a karaoke, like gimmicky, like let's put a quarter in the jukebox and see what and let's pick what he's going to play.
But you are a businessman, and you know that that can help sell a record.
Well, yes, it can, but at the same time, I'd rather succeed, doing what I love than giving everybody what they want,
Yeah.
and then really succeeding. I'd rather fail doing what I feel is right than doing what they feel is right and then succeeding temporarily.
But also what you feel
Because-
is right is pretty much right, because if you don't move on, you can never define yourself as a new person, right?
Exactly. I mean, there's so much philosophy to it. There really is. But at the end of the day, I'm a musician. I have spent years over 11 years straight, guys. Like basically reclusing myself, spending all my money on gear and buying new products and new instruments and learning from different producers and accumulating sounds and getting to where I'm at. That was my whole goal. It's like, yeah, I'm spending a lot of money, but watch me make it back with what I believe in and how I don't have to pay any investors, man.
It's all you.
I was the investor. It's hilarious. I was the investor. I was my investor. I never asked anybody for anything.
But I mean, that's how freeing and how incredible is that to also to do it on your own and have the ability to do it on your own, but then to solely own your own art, right? Like nobody else, that's yours, right?
Well, I mean, not technically. I did sell the masters to Sony, but
Okay. Well, you did it yourself.
yes, but I know what I'm doing, I think. So,
Hell yeah.
they deserve it. If they're going to put their big machine behind me, take it. You guys can own the records. I'll make more. I've already made more. They're sitting in my computer right now.
Do you still think you can be one of today's biggest pop stars?
I don't know. I'm just going to go out there and do my best and have the mentality that I want to be the best and I do want to be better than everyone else.
Because
I do, and it might take it or leave it.
Well, you did say that Justin Bieber and Scooter Braun should be scared, and if you were them, you'd be threatened too. Is the goal to be as big as Justin is now? When you were huge when you were a child, is the goal to be that big again?
You know what? The thing, it's so funny. Somebody told me this one time. They're like, and it was such a pivotal, changing moment in my life. This old rocker guy, he's like, "Hey man, what's up?" He's a good friend of mine. It's like, you can never do what you did when you were 12, right? Or 13 or 14. He said, you can never. He says, you don't want to do that, right? And I was like, really? I don't. He's like, yeah, you don't want to do that. He's like, you want to transcend that, and you want to be bigger than that. Oh. And it's always going to be my goal to be bigger and better. And there's never going to be I reached the top moment. There's never going to be that. There wasn't that moment when Michael Jackson gave me his jacket and said, because you're the Prince of Pop, here you go. This is for you. I was like, okay, thank you.
So does it annoy you when people call Justin the Prince of Pop now? Because the King of Pop called you the Prince of Pop.
He did, and he gave me a jacket. And actually, I became the Prince of Pop when I beat his Guinness Book of World Records for being the youngest male solo artist to have 4 singles on the top 10 Billboard charts at the same time. And I beat Michael Jackson's record with one of his songs being one of those 4. So, and that's when Michael Jackson found out about me. And that's when shortly after, my mom wrote a book called The Prince of Pop when Michael gave us permission to do so.
Where do you have that jacket? Do you have it?
That is, I'm not telling you.
Really? But, do you own it or did?
Of course I have it. Yeah.
Okay.
In a vault in a very special place
Good.
in Florida.
Cool. No, you never know. That's. Do you consider that your most valuable possession from that moment in time, from that history from the past to you?
I guess so.
You've acquired some cool stuff. You know.
It's so funny. Bruce Willis gave me a jacket too. I don't know why are you guys giving me jackets?
What kind of jacket did Bruce Willis give you?
He gave me the one that he wore in Die Hard.
Come on, stop.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty dope.
He had blue plaid in it. Dope.
Where is that one in the same vault as the Michael Jackson jacket?
No. That one's in a different place.
Cool.
It's crazy.
No, I mean seriously, if you have kids, you're gonna have kids one day, I'm sure, and that will you pass that down. That will be forever worth a tremendous amount of money.
Yeah.
It's very, very cool.
Yeah, and in regards to what you said to Justin Bieber and Scooter Braun and all them, I totally, I respect, both of them and what they've done, but
you get hurt when they trash your name.
When somebody wants to mess with me, you can't really do that, and I'm sure Justin understands that. When someone messes with him, he don't take it.
Mm-mm.
No, never.
So I'm like, yeah, and hi, I'm Aaron Carter. Hello. You think I'm gonna take it? No, I'm not gonna take it. I never have. Even when I was a little kid. Even when I was a teenager. Even now I'm an adult. I'm never gonna take it. I'm not gonna. And neither does he. I'm sure he can relate.
What is the most important quality to have if you're going to make it in this business?
I don't know. To just be cool. Just to not think that you're better than anyone else or anything like that. Like it's the perception and the personas that really irk me, that get me about people. It's like, don't try to be something you're not. And if you don't quite understand who you are, okay, I can see why you're living in a perception. But for me, it's just like, I don't know.
But isn't that the biggest issue? If you don't understand who you are, how can you ever truly be genuine?
Well, figure it out. Watch the Marley documentary and identify with yourself. Like, for real. Like, just figure out what's your identity.
Is that what did it for you? Did that documentary change
It did.
your perspective?
Absolutely. It's really cool. I love that documentary. It's called Marley. It's on Netflix. I watched it a million times. and also living in New York City, did that too.
Life changing.
Yeah.
It is. Oh my, come on. You were doing a show, living in Manhattan. What an incredible time.
Yeah, it was tough. It was really tough doing Broadway and off Broadway rather. I've done Broadway and off Broadway, a little both. Off Broadway is much more difficult. 8 shows a week. I mean, I did that show because I had really nothing going on. I just got finished doing Dancing with the Stars. I couldn't get on tour to save my life. I didn't know a booking agent or anybody or how to do it or anything like that. Couldn't get on any tours, nothing, not opening for anyone, nothing. So I was like, all right, I'll go to this. I'll try to go to off Broadway show and see how that works and see if it can, open some more doors for me or show the world that I'm accountable or, hey, if Aaron Carter is doing 8 shows a week and a whole ensemble cast depends on him to be the star of the show and bring ticket sales to it,
It
8 shows a
proves.
week for 2 years straight, over 550 shows performing. Yeah, maybe I have my head on right.
Mhm.
So I did that, and I was at every single show, never missed one. I even did shows on my birthday. I took 2 breaks off when my grandpa died and my sister died. That's the only breaks I took during that time.
I have a lot of respect for you because you commit to new challenges, you take on new tasks. One, for everybody else around you, right? To prove that whatever their stereotype, that whatever their preconceived notions about you are pretty much false, right? You're battling a mindset that is hard to fight. But doing this stuff changes that over time. But also doing Broadway proves to you that like you could do this.
It's very tough. It's one thing to do, Dancing with the Stars for 3 months, 4 months straight. But then it's another thing to do 8 shows a week
Yeah.
for 2 years straight and 2.5 hour show. And you're the star of the show. Yeah, it's
That's
tough.
a lot.
It's tough. And mind you, I was making equity on off Broadway, $654 a week.
Yeah.
That's how much I made a week. $90 a show.
That's,
It wasn't about the money. Like, it was about the investment in myself and, I got to do this. I got to do something in the art field, in what I do, to get people to believe in me again.
And do you feel like it helped people? Do you feel like people's perceptions change?
A booking agent showed up in the show. I
Okay.
stayed there until finally a booking agent came to the show. It was like, I'm a concert booking agent. Let's put you on tour. Started off with 12 shows. 12 turned into 40. 40 turned into 80. 80 turned into 200 that year.
Wow.
And I went from making, like 30 grand a year to like a lot of money again.
Yeah. Wow.
So
Hell yeah.
Well, I wanna
like,
oh, sorry about that. No, go.
Go.
finish.
Go.
No, I want to talk about the new music again for a second.
Yeah.
So all of these songs, are they about like heartbreak or losing a girl you were into?
one person, one song. All the songs are about one person. I wrote them and produced all the beats about one particular situation.
So now that you're in a happy relationship with another girl, is it weird talking about them and promoting and singing because you're constantly reminded of this old girl?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm completely disconnected because my new woman is just incredible. So it's everything I could have asked for, or prayed for, and more. But I think it's harder for her, because she actually does know how real it is and listens to the words. And I think people are just starting to get out of the fact that they're like listening to the beats. And I love that. I love
Yeah.
people listening to my beats. And I like so happy. And Lindgren's happy too, my co-producer. We're both really stoked. But now I think people are starting to pay attention to what all of these songs are about.
Yeah, the
And
stories.
it's called love, but it's not like chipper love, man. It's bad. It's all the aspects of love. It's understanding the crap love to get to a good love. And the person, that person, like me, I was the idiot that stayed in a relationship for 2 years with a backup dancer of mine who was using me for her resume. And literally, I caught a message from her messaging her friend on Facebook when we were in England saying that.
Oh,
And she can't deny that.
that's beyond like a stab in the heart, man.
It was.
Like,
And I
that's-
stayed with a girl for years after that. Like Christmas, like wouldn't even get any gifts on Christmas. I got her everything. Like would lie to her mother and tell her she's working a New Year's Eve party when she's really sitting next to me on like,
Ooh.
on Christmas Day, like couple days. Like liar. Just,
Yeah.
And you can't tolerate that kind of thing. Like people can't take it. Like don't take it. Like I was so depressed. Like my manager is also like my mom. And like, even though like last year was like I broke up with the girl in like, I don't know, like April or something last year or something like that. And then I was so depressed that I had to like move in with my manager and like live with her. She's like my mom too, but like she had to like help take care of me because I was like so sad. And we had a record deal. We had all this great stuff. The music was done, but I was in the lowest point of my life.
Was it because you were so dependent on your ex-girlfriend? What was it?
No, there was nothing to depend on.
That-
There was nothing there. Like there was nothing for me to depend on. And that was the moral of this whole
yeah.
EP is I wrote and produced something that like I would make the beats when the girl wouldn't show up or it was like she wouldn't do what she said she was gonna do, or I was really sad, or I was like alone by myself out in my house in Malibu, and so I'd make that beat. I'd make a beat. And I like most of the beats were called what the titles of the songs are already. Like Sooner or Later, the beat was called Sooner or Later. That's what I named my beat.
I really like the beat on what is it called? Dearly Departed. Is that the
Yeah,
one?
yeah.
See, that caught my attention at first, and I was
Dear
like,
Lee Departed, her name was Lee, my ex-girlfriend. So Dear Lee Departed.
Oh, I get it.
That's
Clever. I like that.
Dear Lee Departed.
Yeah.
Bye.
Does,
She departed.
does everything with you start at the beat, right? It
Always.
starts.
Always. 1,000,000%. Mm-hmm.
That's where it begins.
Nothing else.
But do you hear some of these songs and you're like, people aren't giving it a chance because it's me? Like if I took this song and sold it to Justin or sold it to Zane, it would be one of the biggest songs on the radio right now.
You know what? That's okay. I would rather work really hard and deal with adversity so I can appreciate what I get if I get it.
Mm-hmm.
When I get it, I will get it. Because I'm not going to give up. I didn't give up over the last 10 years. Nothing came from it for the last 10 years. And then boom, something happened because I still didn't give up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Look, Zayn and Bieber, you guys can take your 100 million plays. 34 million in 60 days for me, I'm happy. I'm
bad.
a happy guy. Like, I'm a very happy guy. Like, it took, like, Fool's Gold, it took a year for that song to get 1 million plays when I released it independently. I signed with Sony Records. I got 34 million plays in 60 days with Sooner or Later. So I'm chilling.
I think this is the dawn of a very cool day and a new era of Aaron Carter. And I might even say like it might be a new era of Nick Carter too, because the Backstreet Boys are doing some crazy things up in Vegas. Like,
You know what? It's so funny that you say that because our managers and my manager and our managers, they all talk about it and they're like, it's so cool to see like the boys, like the brothers, me and Nick,
Yeah.
the Carter brothers, like both back doing our own thing, standing on our own 2 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Nick is on the other side of the world. I'm on the other side of the world again, doing it again. Just like when I was a teenager and younger. Like, I'm so busy. I mean, we're getting offers in from Australia and Ireland and China and Philippines and South America and
That's awesome.
Canada and like to do shows and radio. I just did an hour-and-a-half interview with just Ireland radios the other day.
that's
Like,
awesome.
so, and that's awesome. Like, it's so cool. I was never a radio artist, guys. Like, it was never a thing for me. So everything that I'm seeing, I'm very happy. And yeah, you know what? Like, who knows? Maybe if you put these songs with somebody like a Zayn or Bieber, yeah, that would be good. Well, guess what? if y'all need records like that, you know who the writer and producer is.
You're looking at him.
You're looking at him and you're listening to him too.
Hell yeah.
So that's what makes me different. That's what sets me apart.
And-
is that I'm the producer, man. Look at the credits, guys.
I know.
Like
You're so proud of it too. I was gonna say before, you were out there talking to a country band in the lobby of our building, and like you were just, it was like your child. You were just so happy.
It is.
It's
like
really
my
cool to
child.
see. I mean, it really, and for the first time, do you feel like this music is yours? Like, and could you
Well,
say
it
the same
is.
about the music you've done before?
No, I can't. I know who wrote that stuff.
Yeah, wasn't you?
Josh Schwartz and Brian Kirloff. They're like one's a Jewish guy and one's an Asian guy. They're the guys that wrote. I'm serious.
Yeah,
They're the
I
ones who
know.
wrote Aaron's Party and How It Be Shaq and all that. Like they're like New Yorkers. Like
it.
no, I'm doing it. You know, I'm doing my thing now, and you know what? It's gonna be really fun. I look forward to it. Like I got so many tricks up my sleeve. Like now that you know, I do get such a big hand in the creative process. I can do things like I can create a new song called The Aaron's Party Part 2 if I want. Call Macklemore, get somebody, or Wiz Khalifa, have them feature on it. You know what I mean? Call up Shaq, do the rematch, and make him rap on the song with me or something. Like,
No.
dude, like I got.
Are these feelers out, or
No,
are these
these-
just ideas right now?
Man, these don't even have to be. All I gotta do is make a phone call.
Dude,
That's it.
dude.
That's all I gotta do. All I gotta do is make a phone call.
Do you have
and
a-
I'm probably gonna make that phone call.
Do you have like a backlog of favors like that like you know that you can go?
You
can
know
call
what?
on these people?
It's just if you're a good person, people will be good to you, and if not, they're probably busy and got something else they got to do,
That's
and that's it. That's all, and that's what it
Amen.
is. You know, the thing about me with coming back out with this project, I was really adamant about not being a piggyback rider. You know, I didn't need anybody featuring on it with me to get any piggybacks.
no,
nothing.
you.
I came back self-titled Aaron Carter Love, you know?
Boom.
So that's it, you know? And it's very gratifying. It's awesome because, and you know what? I really want people to have the same kind of mentality.
Yeah.
It's like, don't ever give, like, it's like somebody who, like, tries to run for, like, 20 minutes and is like, oh, man, gets, like, a cramp in their liver and they kind of bend over and stop. No, get up, go through the pain, deal with that pain. It might like make you hit the ground eventually, or
Mhm.
maybe you can push through the pain and it'll go away. Like, but at least try it. At
Aaron,
least-
dude, you're dropping some serious spiritual wisdom on me today, and it feels real nice. Hey, thank you for hanging out. You got any more questions?
Well, yeah, that's not spiritual or serious at all. But two things. First,
Yeah.
I watched the video and you were getting tattoos removed,
Oh yeah.
and 2 years later they're completely covered again. wasn't the idea when you remove them to not get them again?
Well, I was really just trying to get rid of tattoos from an artist I didn't like.
Okay. Got
But
it.
yeah, and then I was trying to like start over. Yeah, I'm gonna start over and do this, but like I changed my mind.
And the second one, you mentioned your brother, but when you were growing up, were you allowed to listen to NSYNC?
No, I didn't want to.
Okay. Backstreet Boy family only?
Obviously.
Yeah, no, I didn't want to. I
Okay.
mean, I loved NSYNC. I mean, NSYNC even, you know, they opened up for me for a couple years in Germany. So,
They opened up
They
for
were-
you.
correct.
Isn't that a cool thing to say?
They were cool guys. Yeah.
Wow.
Aaron Carter, thanks for hanging out, man. Much appreciated.
Thanks, guys. Love always seeing you, man.